This video demonstrates some of the capabilities of the new Coordinate System Manager that is available with Trimble Business Center version 3.21. You can launch the new utility from the Trimble Business Center by going to File, Tools, Coordinate System Manager, or from the Quick Access toolbar here. You can also launch the utility as a standalone software from the Start page. For the comparison purposes, we can also launch the old Coordinate System Manager utility. Notice that the old Coordinate System Manager utility displays coordinate system, sites, datum transformation, ellipses, and geoid models in a tab view, and in the new utility we have the more modern tree view for easier navigation and finding your favorite systems. The reason for rewriting the utility was in order to more efficiently support new coordinate systems and providing updates to the utility independently of Trimble Business Center software. Notice that if we expand one of the elements like coordinate systems here, and if we look at a group, we can change the view and the appearance here. Also, with the edit, we have the ability to add new groups, coordinate systems, local sites, datum, ellipsoid, geoid model as in the old utility. View, we just saw how you can switch the appearance of the group. Tools, similar as in the old utility. And under help, we have a new help with the newer content that works very similarly to the old utility. And we have the check for updates, which enables us to provide updates to the utility. As we have support for more geoids or coordinate systems, we can push them through check for updates this way. Adding coordinate systems, on a right click you can add coordinate system really simply. Notice that we have a country folder and we have a system as a subfolder here. Here we can add system properties, so we can choose a name here and choose a datum name as well as the datum method. For the projection, you can choose any projection from the list, very similar as in the old coordinate system. Notice that the one new projection here is the snake grid projection. For all of you that work on large corridor files, this projection may be very interesting. So if you choose a Transverse Mercator, if we don't have the correct values or if the values are not acceptable, you will notice that there's exclamation marks preventing you from saving the system. So if you put in a valid information, so if you provide valid information, we will be able to store our system. If you look at the shift grid file, you have the ability to add a shift grid file or a geoid model to your coordinate system. In this case, we'll choose a no model, and notice now in your system you have you can just double click and in order to enter the system and start editing the information. All the custom defined systems are gonna show in blue, versus if you're in a predefined coordinate system, those will be in red, and it will be a read-only field which cannot be edited. Very similar as in the old utility. Also, adding a datum, we can just simply switch to the datum file here, right click and say add a new datum, custom datum. Here we can associate a datum with any ellipsoid, for example a Bessel ellipsoid here, and we can choose a default method for the system. Before we could have one datum or multiple datums with multiple systems. Here we actually allow you to create one datum and assign any default method to the datum of your choice. Here we can allow a Molodensky or 7 parameters, multiple regression, datum grids, and one new system that you will notice is the broadcast RTCM that is applicable for the German VRS users. After you choose your system, you can just allow the system, and we haven't actually defined it. So for that reason, we will need to uncheck this. We can actually specify any parameters here, and also in this field, and say OK. So for our system, so custom datum, we can open and we can simply change the default method, and the current default method is going to be highlighted in a bold text here. So if we change the 7 parameter, so if you go to custom datum, notice now the 7 parameter is the default system. Same here, if you go back to your coordinate systems and we go to our system, change the datum name to the custom datum that we just created. Notice that the 7 parameter is going to be chosen as a method here, and we can also switch it back to the Molodensky, as we have defined parameters for that one as well. As you can see, all the functionality that existed in the old Coordinate System Manager can be found in the new utility as well. That concludes our video on the new Coordinate System Manager utility available with Trimble Business Center version 3.21.